And just like that, the Packers are under the cap, and free agency has officially begun.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What's poppin', y'all? It's Man Cloud Boy Bales. Happy St. Patrick's Day and happy start of the new NFL season. We've already had and seen a lot of crazy things going on in free agency. Of course, these last couple days we've been seeing a lot of signings that are going to be happening. It's pretty insane. I was gonna touch up more on this, but I had to focus on my selection Sunday and filling out my bracket because March Madness also starts. Well, technically, round of 64 starts on Friday, but had to get my bracket in, got it all submitted. If you have not seen my last video, please check it out. I described who I picked to win. That's be good. But today we're gonna be talking about the other major thing going on in the sports world, and that, right, my friend, is free agency. It's going to be exciting, and don't know what else is going to happen, but we've already seen a lot of crazy things happen. Now, Packers, I'm not expecting them to do a lot because they are very much trying to do the whole thing with the cap, but of course we saw J.J. Watt be signed by the Arizona Cardinals, so of course we knew that wasn't going to happen. But it's very much interesting what's going to happen to Packers free agency moves. Just an interesting thing. But so far, obviously, we have lots of things happening so far. I mean, the draft is a little bit ways away. But, what matters is we got Aaron Jones back. I did a little video talking about my brief thoughts on it. And my opinion, I was actually kind of hoping he was going to move on. But honestly, he wanted to be in Green Bay. So it proves how loyal he is to our program, our association. So I'm cool with it. I really am. Corey Linsley signed a deal with the San Diego Chargers. He is now the highest paid center in the league, so that's an outstanding thing for him, and I'm actually really happy for him. He deserves it, and it sucks that he's not going to be on the Packers, but he's with his old teammate Bulaga, and Bakhtiari is going to miss him too, and I'm going to miss him because he had one of the best seasons ever, didn't allow a sack. You got to give so much credit to him. He's going to be great on the Chargers and protecting Justin Herbert because I'm a huge fan of him. He's going to have a great career. That's what's great, but I'm just very happy that Corey Linsley was able to do these things. Another thing that happened, Tramon Williams has officially announced his retirement from the league. Unfortunately, that's it's not like a big news, but it was like expected. We all knew that this was going to happen. Also, Drew Brees announced his retirement. Of course, I gotta really say my thing on that because Drew Brees is one of my favorite guys to watch growing up, other than obviously Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, he's outstanding player, broken so many records, done so many crazy things. The league ain't gonna be the same without him, that's for sure. And then late last night, Jamal Williams was signed a 2-year deal by the Detroit Lions, so we still get to see him 2 more times when we beat the Lions both times throughout the year. And I'll be getting to our division in a second because I was very happy about this news, but I'll get to that in a second. But so far, I mean, Lindsley's gone, Williams is gone. The only big name free agent that, like, Kevin King's the only big name guy that still has to be signed someone. But really, we're not gonna re-sign him after what we saw. Pretty obvious. Other names that are unrestricted free agents that are still free agents that were on the Packers, we had Mercedes Lewis, Will Redmond, Tyler Irvin, Montravius Adams, Jared Valdir, Lane Taylor, Billy Wynn, Tavon Austin, Damone Harrison, James Burgess, and then we released Ricky Wagner and John Lovett, of course. The restricted guys, unfortunately, the guys that we ended up releasing are Tyler Lancaster, Raven Green, Tim Boyle, and Perry Nickerson. Obviously, Aaron Jones, we re-signed to a deal, and then the guys that we actually tendered and have restricted rights to are offensive tackle Josh Ninman. He'll be back for a third season. Don't know much about him, but the team really likes him. He's a backup. I think he's a backup tackle. He must be really good. He must have. I don't know. Like, the team really likes keeping him around, so that's just something good. Malik Taylor played in 15 games, and really was doing kick returning duty. Catched 5 passes for 66 yards and a touchdown. Really, he's more special teams player, and he did pretty good for us last year. I'd say. I mean, he's obviously a special teams guy, but he did stuff for us last year, so, and he's great on special teams, so it's great to keep players like that around. Randy Ramsey, he produced 11 tackles, mostly on special teams, over 12 games. He's a backup player, so it's kind of good we keeping these people around. Alan Lazard, of course, I'm a huge fan of that guy. 68 catches and 6 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. He's been doing a lot of damage. He's a great starter and a great player and a great teammate and a great guy, so definitely happy to see him. Shannon Sullivan, Packers slot corner. I think a lot of people knew he was one of the guys that they were going to tender, knowing that we really don't have depth at corner right now after Kevin King is gone. Obviously, he's a great slot corner, so it's probably obvious we need to get a number 2 corner. But since Shannon Sullivan really isn't a number 2, he's a slot corner. But he was great. Worth a little bit 2.1, but it's whatever. And then, of course, the big name, Robert Tonyan. He had a breakout season, 11 touchdowns. Pretty insane. And, he's going to be on... He'll be back right now on the second round restricted tender. If a team wants him, we got to match up on the deal. I think a lot of people know how that works. Of course, some names that, as I said, names of people we let go. I said Christian Kirksey signed with Houston Texans, Corey Linsley with the Chargers, Jamal Williams with the Lions. Yeah, that's really it for the Packers. There's nothing really else new here, but yeah, there was some definite good, interesting sign. It's definitely nothing major, but other than the Aaron Jones, but it works out the best way I can say it. Other news in free agency. Let's talk about our division a little bit. Some big names from the people in our division, still free agents, and guys that got signed or maybe that. Chicago Bears. I have a lot of friends that are from Chicago, so I really had to troll on them with this one, but the Bears signed Andy Dalton at quarterback. After all the rumors that they were going to get Russell Wilson or trade for Deshaun Watson and Russell, it just didn't happen. So what did the Bears do? They sign a guy who's been having a worse career than even Trubisky. Oh, the Bears can be so classic. If they would actually went and signed Alex Smith over Andy Dalton, that would have actually made more sense. But I would have actually preferred them to get Alex Smith, and that would actually have been pretty decent. But they decided to go with someone who's been absolutely terrible the past 3 seasons. It's just such a Bears thing to do. Just simple. Allen Robinson is obviously the team wants him so bad, but he's gonna leave. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. You're a number 1 receiver. You really want to be catching passes from Andy Dalton or a star in the league. It's just pretty obvious at this point. Marvin Jones, a former Lions wide receiver that always gives us trouble whenever we play him, is thankfully out of the division. He's going to be the number one receiver for, well, number one or number two receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be catching passes from Trevor Lawrence. So that's a definite, well, probably Trevor Lawrence, but that's going to be a great fit for him. There wasn't really any other big news, but some of the winners in free agency are the Patriots. They happened to sign two starting tight ends, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. They signed Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne, two starting wide receivers who are, I'd say, pretty good. They signed, good lord, they signed Jalen Mills. I mean, I don't know how they did that, but and then the other guy from the Ravens, I can't think of his name. It's hard to remember all these people's names. Matt Judon, that's his name. But yeah, Patriots really went out in free agency. Leonard Floyd re-signed a deal with the Rams. That's pretty good. Gronkowski and Chris Godwin are both, and Shaq Barrett and Levante David are all returning to the Bucs. It looks like they want to run it back. Bud Dupree is with the Tennessee Titans. Corey Davis has signed a deal with the Jets. We have Cassius Winston returning to the Saints. And him and Taysom Hill are really going to be battling out at quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be starting on the Washington football team. Jacoby Brissett is backing up on Miami. Tyrod Taylor right now got signed by Houston. Lots of signings by lots of people. Still people on the market. Still people released. Leonard Williams got signed to a 3-year deal by the Giants. Dalvin Tomlinson was a guy that I wanted the Packers to get. Unfortunately, he's on the Vikings took him, so that was a sucky thing to hear. John Johnson's being signed by the Browns. Verrett is a guy that I wanted. He's being re-signed by the 49ers. I think that was pretty expected. Taysom Hill's getting a lot of money that he doesn't deserve. Seahawks are getting Akella Witherspoon. Michael Brockers last night got traded to the Lions? Weird. After he was dissing Jared Goff, he now has to play with him still. That's just very cringy. The Bills now have Emmanuel Sanders, and John Brown is now on the Raiders. Was it? I forgot what team got him. Yeah, Raiders. So basically they traded. Well, yeah, they basically got him. AJ Green just got signed by the Cardinals, and they also have been traded for Rodney Hudson. Weird stuff. And then Trent Williams has the largest contract for any offensive lineman, beating out David Bakhtiari by $1. 6-year deal. 6-year, $138 million deal. That's pretty insane for a lineman. Dolphins got Adam Butler. Titans are re-signing Javon Brown. Deshaun Watson now is accused of sexual assault. Apparently, the guy wanted a hand job. So I don't know really much about it. So yeah, I'm not gonna really get into that. Janoris Jenkins was signed by the Titans, and Damian Williams is a free agent. Dory Jackson's a free agent. John Ross was signed by the Giants, and Shaquille Griffin was signed. Shaq Griffin, not his brother, was signed by Jacksonville. So yeah, that's not some really any news that was big, but that's all we have. I mean, other than Kyle Long was just signed by Chicago. And I mean, he was released from Chicago, but now he's on the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at current news. I mean, it's a lot of news, but it's interesting of how things are going. I didn't want this video to be too long, but I'm really just kind of going over everything that's happened so far. So far, my winners of free agency have to be the New England Patriots. Are the Packers going to do anything? I don't believe so, but they possibly could. But yeah, there wasn't really anything, predictions or anything in this video. I just wanted to look at my thoughts on what was going on. March Madness starts. As I said, if you want to check out my predictions from my bracket, you definitely can. I picked the winner that I picked. I never thought I'd pick in my life, but it is what it is. The Bears are a joke. The Packers are number one. That's all we need to say. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has to face Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Andy Dalton twice a year. Just easy wins, you know? So anyways, if any updates are to come in the future, I will definitely be on that, and I'll be making some videos, some quick ones. It won't be any like long ones, but these will just be some quick update videos. I have a still busy week because this is my midterms week. I literally was just able to make this because I got a lot of my work done this week, but I got lucky. Got lucky. So anyways, that's that. So anyways, stay tuned for more updates. I'm your man, Club Boy Bales. Subscribe and comment with your thoughts. Stay safe, be smart, and go Pack Go. We'll see you next time.